Assalamu alaikum and good day to each and everyone. So this is our third video discussion on your third lecture, which is the total hydrostatic force on surfaces. Well, again, we are obliged to download the file that I have posted or uploaded, and then of course I highly encourage that you better print that file for you to easily cope up or follow while I am having this lecture. Okay, so now let's start discussing this topic, which is the total hydrostatic force on surfaces. Basically, if I am to give you the overview about this topic, it has something to do with the fluid. Tapos, of course, in a fluid, there comes the pressure. Ang titingnan natin is kung anong epekto ng pressure na yon sa barrier or sa isang wall. Okay? So, if the pressure over a plane area is uniform, as in the case of horizontal surface submerged in a liquid or plane surface inside a gas chamber, the total hydrostatic force or total pressure is given by F is equal to P times A. Okay? So as you can see, yung F dito is the force, yung A is the uniform pressure, and A is the area. Take note, yung area na ginamit dyan is yung naapektuhan nung, yung affected part ng fluid. For example, may fluid dito. Itong mismo lahat, from A to B, yan mismo yung area na i-consider natin. Pero kung yung fluid is hanggang dito lang, hanggang dito for example, hindi na natin kailangang isali sa calculation natin yung area sa taas. Again, yung area na involved dito is yung area lang na, yung area na under or na submerged sa tubig. Okay? In the case of an inclined or vertical plane submerged in a fluid or liquid, the total hydrostatic pressure can be found by the following formula. So here is the derivation of the formula that we are going to use for this topic. Derived from figure 1, we have F is equal to gamma H bar times A. As you can see, diba? Based or as we have discussed in our previous discussion, diba, pressure is equal to gamma times height. Remember? So as you can see in here, dito, i-substitute lang natin yung value ng or formula ng P sa gamma times height. Okay? Walang bago dyan. Yun yung sabi ko sa inyo nung una pa. As much as you can, huwag kalimutan yung mga formula na ginagamit natin because it will be important for our future discussions. Okay? So imagine this one. There is this involvement of pressure. Tapos again, we have used the value or the formula for pressure, which is the gamma times height. So, yun nga, I keep on saying as much as you can, familiarize or kung mas mabuti, memorize the formulas being provided. So, here, since gamma H is the unit pressure at the centroid of the plane area, PCG, as you can see in here, may PCG dito. Ang PCG dyan, meaning to say, yan yung center of gravity na kung saan tumama yung pressure natin or tumama yung force natin. The formula may also be expressed as this one. As you can see from here, di ba yung sabi natin kanina, ito yung pressure, but then itong gamma H bar exists, or yung gamma H bar ay makikita doon sa center of gravity, meaning to say it can also be derived or be used as the pressure at the center of gravity times the area. Gets? So yun. Next is, let's find the location of force. In this figure, makikita natin yung location ng force natin with respect sa liquid surface. That is the notation notation ng location of force is the YP. Okay? Meaning to say, yan yung distance ng force hanggang sa liquid surface. Take note, class. As you can see in here, di ba? Always take note this one. Yung H bar is always vertical. Take note again, H bar is always vertical. Pero yung mga YP, always yan parallel sa wall or always yan parallel sa area. Example in here, di ba dito, sa case dito is incline yung area natin. Since yung area natin is incline, yung YP din natin is incline with respect sa area. Pero, take note, kapag yung area natin is vertical, yung H bar natin is equal to what? kung yung area natin is vertical, yung YP din natin is vertical. Are you following? So that is how we conceptualize, or that is how we locate F with respect to its area. So in figure 1, in this figure, taking moment of force about S, ang makukuha nating formula sa YP is IS over, what is that? IS over AY. By the transfer formula of moment of inertia, take note class, I will not be discussing lots of stuff about this because you have already discussed this during your ES 11. The transfer formula of moment of inertia, the moment of inertia, and the likes, okay? So, pahapya, or it's just some sort of I'll just be discussing to you some sort of surface regarding sa moment of inertia. So, yun nga, by derivation, ang makukuha nating formula is YP is equal to Y bar plus IG over AY. Okay? But since YP is equal to Y bar plus E, pwede natin sabihin na si E is equal to this one. Itong dito. Yun nga, di ba? YP daw is equal to Y bar plus E. Y bar plus E. Masasabi natin na si E is equal to IG over AY bar. Take note, si E is the eccentricity. Saan yung location ng eccentricity? Or eccentricity? Location ng eccentricity is yung distance ng force hanggang sa center of gravity ng area. Gets? Diba? So you can see, this is the force. Tingnan niyo yung line of action. Ito yung line of action ng force. Since yan yung line of action ng force, at saka nandito yung center of gravity, distance ng center of gravity at saka yung center of pressure is the E. Gets? Take note in here, CG is the center of gravity, CP is the center of pressure. Sa center of pressure, dyan makikita or dyan yung location ng F. Gets? Take note din class, as you can see in here, iba si H bar, iba si Y bar, at saka iba si YP. Si Y bar is the distance of the liquid surface to the center of gravity. On the other hand, si YP is the distance of the liquid surface hanggang sa center of pressure. And take note once again, si YP is always parallel to the area, whilst H bar is always perpendicular to the liquid surface. Okay? Take note on that basic principles because that will be useful sa future discussions natin. So next, para makita natin yung mga, di ba? As you can see, gagamitin natin yung mga IG. In here, nandito yung given formula sa mga IG. Paki-familiarize na lang dito. Actually, these are just the common plane sections. Meron tayong triangle, rectangle, circle, tapos quarter circle, semicircle, tapos yung ellipse. Okay? Familiarize those formulas. Tapos meron din tayong spandrel. Yung spandrel, as you can see in here, sa spandrel, isang property ng spandrel, dapat yung vertex is naka-attach or nakadikit doon sa origin. Okay? Yan yung property ng spandrel. Next is segment of arc. Ayun. We have this XC. XC meaning to say yung distance of the center of gravity to the origin. Okay? Same din dito. Mayroon tayong XC. XC meaning to say yan yung distance ng center of gravity hanggang sa Y. Tapos yung YC, yan yung distance ng center of gravity sa X. Gets? Tapos of course yung given area, alam na natin yan. 1/2 times base times height. Tapos yung IX is BH cube over 12. Tapos yung IGX is BH cube over 36. Ito rin same sa rectangle. Sa rectangle, we have this IX. IX is this one. IX. It's the B D cube. B times D cube over 3. Pero kapag IY, ang mangyayari is baliktarin natin yung B at saka D. Ang magiging cube is yung B. Meaning to say, IY is equal to D times B cube. Gets? Yung sabi ko nga, I will not be digging deeper dito sa discussion na ito because you have already discussed this one during your ES 11. In here, we have discussed about inclined surfaces. But in this section, ang pag-uusapan natin is about fluid total hydrostatic force on curved surface. So yon, dito, case 1, fluid is above the curved surface. Case 2, fluid is below the curved surface. Sa case 1, yung fluid daw is nasa taas ang curved surface. Ito yung curved surface, itong dito, tapos ito yung fluid. Next case, sa case number 2, yung curve daw is nasa fluid is below the curved surface. Ito yung curved surface, tapos ito yung fluid natin. So, yan ibig sabihin ng case 2. Tapos ito yung formula. FH is equal to PCG times A, or FH is equal to gamma H bar times A. Or FV, FH, ito yung force at horizontal. Yung pinagkaiba nung, take note, yung sa inclined surface, pinagkaiba nito sa fluid, sa curved surface is that sa curved surface is mayroong X and Y components yung forces natin. Pero sa inclined surface, meron lang tayo isang component. That is perpendicular to the area. Again, sa inclined surface, yung involved lang na force is isang component. Yung component tayo is perpendicular to the area. Pero kapag curved surface, yung pinag-usapan natin, both case 1 and case 2, yung forces natin ay may dalawang components, along horizontal components at saka along the vertical components. Okay? So of course, kung kukunin natin yung, what is this, yung angle of inclination, all we need to do is just to use the trigonometric function of tangent theta is equal to FV over FH, where A is vertical projection of submerged curve and PCG is the pressure at the center of area. Mayroong case 3 dito. Sa case 3 is, there is this fluid below and above the curved surface. So, it's something like, it's more on combination of case 1 and case 2. Okay? So, same lang yung analysis, pero mayroon lang there's this a small deterioration or there is this small alteration of solution. So, that is all for the concept for this topic. Next video is I'll be providing or I will be showing you some examples on how to solve such problem. Okay? So that is all for our first video.